Shocking news has once again come from the South Korean entertainment world. In an incident that shook fans around the world, JIN, one of the BTS members who is currently serving in the military, was reported to have been unable to hold back tears after hearing that his group mate, Jimin, had to be rushed to the hospital. What caused this condition? How serious was Jimin's situation that it struck JIN so deeply in the midst of his military duties? Initial information indicated that Jimin experienced a sudden deterioration in his physical condition after a series of intense promotional activities and preparations for BTS's concert. Sources close to the agency stated that Jimin suffered from severe exhaustion that caused his body to collapse and required immediate medical treatment. Upon learning this, JIN, who is usually known for his emotional resilience even under military pressure, was reported to have cried upon hearing the news. This situation sparked major concern among ARMY, the term for BTS's fans, who immediately flooded social media with prayers and support. The hashtags #GetWellSoonJimin and #StayStrongJin quickly reached the top of global trending topics within hours. Many began to wonder, what is Jimin's current condition? Is it true that his situation worsened to the point that he needed prolonged hospitalization? According to an official statement issued by Big Hit Music, the agency that manages BTS, Jimin is currently undergoing intensive observation at one of Seoul's top hospitals. Jimin is experiencing health problems due to prolonged fatigue and stress. We have taken the necessary medical action and will ensure he gets sufficient recovery time, the statement read. However, this statement raised more questions than answers, as there were no details provided regarding Jimin's specific illness. Even more shocking, some internal sources mentioned that Jimin briefly lost consciousness before being taken to the hospital. This news has not been confirmed by the agency, but the rumor alone has been enough to escalate public anxiety. Moreover, the fact that JIN, known for maintaining calm in any situation, showed such strong emotion suggests that the situation might be more serious than many people expected. There has been widespread speculation that the extreme pressure Jimin has faced over the past few months has played a major role in his current health condition. A tight schedule, high public expectations, and internal pressure as a member of the world's biggest K-pop group are certainly no small burden. Health experts even state that in extreme cases, such stress can trigger serious medical conditions such as adrenal fatigue or even cardiovascular issues. I end this moment of great uncertainty. Much attention is also directed at JIN, who must continue his military service while bearing the anxiety for his close friend. Based on reports from a source within the military, JIN appeared very shaken after receiving the news about Jimin, and even requested special permission to make a video call. Although it has not been confirmed whether this permission was granted, JIN's action shows the depth of the brotherhood among BTS members. Meanwhile, local media continue to try to gather more information regarding Jimin's condition. Several reports stated that Jimin's family had been asked to stay at the hospital, a step usually only taken in serious medical cases in South Korea. Nevertheless, Big Hit Music still urges the public to respect Jimin and his family's privacy during the recovery period. This situation has sparked widespread discussion among netizens about the importance of mental and physical health for K-pop artists. Many have voiced concern over the South Korean entertainment industry system, which is seen as overly demanding on young artists to the point of sacrificing their health to meet global market demands. Will this incident involving Jimin become a turning point for systemic changes in the entertainment industry? As of the time this news is published, there has been no latest statement regarding Jimin's condition. ARMY around the world continue to send support and prayers through various social media platforms. Meanwhile, the other BTS members also showed their solidarity. RM, Suga, J-Hope, V, and Jungkook were seen sharing short, hopeful messages on social media, although they maintained Jimin's privacy by not leaking specific details. This situation reminds the public that behind the glittering world of K-pop, there are real human beings who are vulnerable to pressure and exhaustion. Jimin's case is a tangible example that even those who appear strong in front of the camera can fall behind the scenes. Is there a big lesson we can learn from this incident? Will the entertainment world finally start putting artists' welfare above financial targets and popularity? In this completely uncertain situation, one thing is certain. The love and concern pouring out for Jimin is clear evidence of the profound emotional bond BTS has built with their fans. All eyes are now on the hospital where Jimin is being treated, awaiting good news that can calm the hearts of millions around the world. As a conclusion, a big question still hangs in the air. How severe is Jimin's condition really? And how will it affect BTS's future? Will this incident bring about real change in the K-pop industry, which has long been known for its harsh and demanding nature? Or will it pass by, leaving behind wounds that are hard to heal? Yet in facing this developing news, one fundamental question must be asked. Can we truly trust all the information circulating about Jimin's condition? Or is this part of a deliberate fabrication aimed at attracting public attention and increasing media exposure? With the rise of viral content on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, we must ask, how much truth is there in the news we consume every day? It is important to note that so far, information regarding Jimin's condition mostly comes from unofficial reports and partial statements from the agency. Many pieces of content circulating on social media are even speculative, adding emotional narratives without concrete evidence. Does this mean we are becoming victims of unverified information flow? To what extent are we, as the public, capable of distinguishing between fact and illusion in an increasingly sensationalist media climate? It is undeniable that in the modern entertainment world, especially in an industry as large as K-pop, marketing strategies often exploit mass emotions to maintain relevance. Isn't it possible that this incident, whether intentional or not, has been used to garner public sympathy and strengthen the image of the artists as vulnerable human beings? Could it be that the empathy we feel has been systematically directed for certain purposes? This phenomenon demands us to reflect again on an essential question. To what extent do we allow ourselves to be influenced by emotions in consuming news? Are we taking critical distance? Or are we swept away in the information flow without filtering its truth? A healthy skepticism becomes increasingly important, especially when we realize that news about Jimin emerges amid many viral contents not necessarily verified by credible sources. Moreover, it must be remembered that the information we present in this report comes from various open sources, including TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and South Korean local media. This means there is a possibility of distortion, bias, and even deliberate shaping of public perception. In such situations, shouldn't we ask, is social media a source of information fully worthy of trust? Through this reflection, we must consider various possibilities. Is the news about Jimin truly a tragic medical incident? Or has it been crafted into a dramatic narrative to maintain attention on BTS during their military transition period? Could certain parties be taking advantage of this collective anxiety for hidden promotional purposes? In observing Jin's reaction, reportedly crying because of Jimin's condition, we also must ask, is this emotion genuine or part of a constructed image expected by the public? No one can be certain. The fact that this information was disseminated through anonymous military sources without disclosed identities should serve as a warning for us to question the validity of such reports. In responsible journalism, shouldn't anonymous sources be used very carefully? As news consumers, we face a major dilemma: trusting emotionally charged narratives or questioning their validity to maintain our intellectual integrity. In this context, it is important to keep asking ourselves, does this news reflect verifiable facts, or is it just a performance designed to stir our emotions? This critical reflection is not only important for understanding Jimin's case, but also as a foundation for dealing with all kinds of information in today's digital era. If we don't question what we consume, aren't we essentially allowing ourselves to be manipulated? Do we want to be passive spectators in a possibly staged scenario, or choose to be individuals capable of independent and skeptical thinking? In a world where the line between fact and fiction is increasingly blurred, the ability to sift through information becomes a very vital